board really does honestly strive for transparency, and so, it was brought to my attention, I was asked about when we approved this matter we're voting on today, and when I looked, I thought we had, and when I looked at the dates that we had, we didn't. So what I can tell, from what looking at things, it was a simple oversight, and that's why we're here today, is to correct that. And so, I'm gonna call this, meeting to order, and so, at this time, I'm gonna, ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Brooks, I have discussion.
Yes, sir.
The only notification I received about this meeting was an email through the school system, which is from Mr. Wilson. I have no text, no phone calls, I have no email, no correspondence from the board president or 3 members of the board, and that is policy BCAC, how we can call for a special meeting. I don't find your name attached to anything, and I did not receive a text or a phone call. So, to me, Mr. President, I do not have notification that you called the meeting.
That policy doesn't tell that you have to be notified by me. It tells.
It says, special meetings may be called at any time by the president of the board or by joint action of these 3 board members. And in the past, Mr. Powell always sent the email.
Okay. Honestly, I was not aware. Jess sends out our agenda emails, so that's our board clerk does that. So that's why I went through that. Either way, I believe, looking at it, our policy was met.
Yeah, received notification.
Of course.
Just 2 days prior.
Yes.
When did you prepare the agenda?
I prepared it Friday morning.
Friday morning?
Or Friday, actually probably closer to Friday afternoon, but on Friday.
And you chose not to notify us for the community by 6:55 on Monday morning. And I don't know, is Jess even on duty at that time?
Thing is, they received notification on the Friday.
Yeah.
They received notification.
For special meetings, it's 48
They received
hours.
notification 2 days prior. It's
Right.
not an issue. They received notification.
Well,
So at this time,
Mr. President, Mr. Wilson didn't ask for communication in order to be recognized, so I wish in the future that he asked.
all right, I'll take that under consideration. But at this time, I'm gonna go ahead and call for a vote.
Discussion's still going on. I asked questions about when it was done, how it was done, so.
Okay, this is a special board meeting. We have one agenda item. We have a motion and a second.
Right, now it's discussion.
Right, but are you, you're not discussing?
Discussion? I have more questions. Can we address that discussion? And I'll be talking about administration.
Well, I don't feel that's what's happening, but,
Okay.
all right.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
A
saying.
special meeting's agenda that's been announced cannot be changed.
I
So
understand
either
it's
we
not
approve
changed.
this agenda or we don't.
I'm on
And
discussion
if
on
we
the
can
agenda.
vote,
I've answered your question. I've expressed how come we're having the meeting. I have told you that I decided on this on Friday. And I do apologize, the way I communicated it to you, it was not how you expected, but it was my understanding that was the way we could do it.
Who was all at your meeting?
At my meeting,
When you prepared the agenda?
it was myself and our superintendent.
Okay, I don't think we asked the answer to the thing that who called the meeting.
I called the meeting, it was asked, and I've said that. I've said it multiple times this morning. So, at this time, I'm gonna call for a vote. All those in favor say yes?
yes.
Yes. All those opposed say no?
No.
Okay, motion passes. All right, so that leads us to,
Mr. President, I was wondering why our board attorney's not present.
oh, that I don't know. I can't answer that.
Because I think our contract is that he's been student to all our meetings.
All right,
Unless you told him not to.
Yeah, I do think it says that.
There wasn't.
Okay.
Is there a reason why we don't have this publicized or media appearance?
We don't do that. You asked this question at the last special meeting, and I answered it, and it's not something we normally do, and it wasn't set up, and so.
We have in the past, we have, at the last meeting,
All right.
we passed, for the community, we had special.
Alan,
meeting in
we
June.
are on action item 2.1, and so at this time, I'm gonna ask for a motion to approve the Naples DMP contract as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I have discussion, Mr. President. Upon pulling the Naples contracts, the first time I saw this was September 18th at a special meeting in which the Naples guy signed it. And then I found the last time we had a meeting that we have it signed by our superintendent on 9/19. If I read in detail, it goes into effect on 9/18, so I don't quite get that. Also, if we have this signed and we are agreeing to 124 million and the board has yet to approve it, I have some issues. That got signed without our approval.
Our board policy and state, I think it's the state statute says that administration cannot approve anything that board approves.
The response is, Kurt, is that you were, spoke about it at length quite a while since the September 18th meeting. And at that time, then as the representative for the board, that I signed the contract, there's nothing, illegal that you're trying, what you're trying to create here. It was done in transparency, if you want to use that, which is thrown out. Okay, so here's the deal, the project is moving forward. This is really, it's disappointing that these kind of games are being played at this point.
It's disappointing that we don't, this is not.
You had that in front of you.
I didn't get this till the special meeting and I didn't read it, so I don't know how.
You had the
But I don't know how I'm supposed to be
contract.
educated and know what I'm asking.
The
So I
contract,
can
you
talk
had
to
the
him about it.
contract on the 18th, so.
And that was the only time we had to talk to him within the 10 minutes and we're supposed to know what we're asking.
You asked all the questions you wanted to ask.
Not if I haven't gone through the contract and delved into
No,
it
you
yet.
had the contract on the 18th.
The same day that they presented, yes, but not after that. The same thing with these drawings. I have more questions about these drawings now that I finally got them. So,
You have the.
and my other,
drawings on
I guess my
the
other
18th.
question, Chairman, would be, if this is signed prior to and now we approve it, I would like to talk, ask Mr. Jeter if that's.
I talked to
that's
Mr. Jeter,
valid.
Mr. Jeter said it's perfectly fine.
I would like to hear you state that and answer some questions for us. On your email that you sent on Friday, which I didn't see until Sunday, it says if the board failed, you said the board failed to approve, but we normally approve your recommendations. Do you see any things that you failed to do?
What, but now you're pointing at me.
I'm just saying, you said you going to the board and we failed to approve it, but it wasn't on
You had all the information.
Wasn't ever on the agenda.
The board did not, approve the contract. The contract was in front of you. You had the contract. This is a non-issue.
What was the process for
Mr. Wilson,
Roosevelt?
would you talk a little bit about the construction management contract that we signed as a different board maybe a couple of years ago?
Sure, I mean, as the board, several years ago signed a contract with Naples, which is a construction manager of this contract, which puts them in charge of the construction and the management of the construction. So what they do is they come in and they share the information with the board. What the oversight was that evening, that the board did not approve that contract. You had the contract in front of you. You had opportunities to ask all the questions, the same information. There was no new information. So the idea that this is all late and you didn't have the opportunities is not true.
I
So
disagree
is this the
with- I
same
disagree with
process
you.
as we did for Roosevelt?
Yeah,
No, it's not, we approved Roosevelt separate.
and we're doing that right now. So if we vote on it, we'll approve it, we'll
After
do that,
that.
then we'll move on. And we'll celebrate tonight the groundbreaking of a great thing in this community that is wonderful, and it's sad that we have people who are choosing, because the bond passed, to make issues of minor, small little details that really don't matter.
Mr. Wilson, I do not think not signing a contract for over $100 million is.
You knew exactly what it was,
I know
we talked
exactly.
about it.
And it's not right. And the people out here in our community expect us as a board to be involved in that process. And all we do is get your recommendations, and we're not involved with actually development of that and talking. I've talked to several people on the board and bonds, and their boards and superintendents work together to sit down and go through this together.
You
Instead
have
of
the
you doing it
information
yourself, and you making all the decisions yourself as far as what's in here. We hear about it, and then we ask about it, and then it's like a big problem.
So-
There is no problem.
So-
There is a problem with
Mr.
faster, there's a
Park,
problem with
we-
other.
we were-
Is it, Mr. President?
I could like to go on and on, but right now I'm going to tell you, you're saying we haven't had this information. We have had this information, and Naples has been here for us to ask any questions we have.
Yeah,
And
been here.
so-
But not during the development of the barn in the building. We hear about decisions like we're not building the witch doctor. We voted and said we were gonna do a whole new building, and that hasn't been discussed publicly.
We've asked
That's an
lots of
educational-
questions on that.
That's correct, but the decision was made, say, here, this is what we decided, not this is what the board decided. We haven't had discussion on that. The bathroom issue is an issue. It's something that the board has not addressed directly.
You
You said-
spent 30 minutes asking questions about that, at the
And
airport.
we should take 2 hours, and we should have a whole meeting especially on that. That's what other boards do. They do not just come in and say 15 minutes on 7:30 meeting in the morning where people are not able to come. And it's almost a street, I'm sorry, it is almost planned. I don't think it's very transparent. And the name change, you said at one meeting that we're not calling it now. The architects call it gender neutral bathrooms, and that's what we've had. The question is, how many traditional bathrooms are on the second floor of Army High School? The answer is,
That's been answered, and
Can
it's
you
been
answer?
answered many times. The private bathrooms are 1/3, and the other bathrooms, actually, it's less than 1/3. The other bathrooms are about 70%. Now, at this time, I'm gonna ask if there's anyone else who has discussion. We're not rehashing the same discussion we had. That's not the point of
there's
discussion.
still, there used to be a lot of concern about it.
Yes, sir.
I just have a couple of quick comments. I've been going over a lot of this, I've been looking at the history of it. As we've moved through the process, we have had the support of the entire board on the bond issue. Every board member that's sitting here came out and said, yes, I support the bond issue, as we were going. We spent hours working with DLR, designing, meeting with the architects, meeting with groups, having the community come in and talk. We've had hours to spend looking at different parts of the building, what our design needed to look like as we were going through that. And, when we have one board member start issuing things that it is his opinion, he is not speaking for the whole board, with that. I read an article in some little newspaper somewhere. I hope he was not speaking for the whole board. He was speaking for himself, because that's one of the things that.
Mr.
Don't interrupt, like you've been asking everybody also. The same thing that you've asked the other board members, I'm gonna hold you to the same thing. So, there may have been an oversight, there may have been a mistake. We have the grace to look at, there has not been one board member, maybe I'm speaking out, that has not made a mistake in their tenure, here. If you have never made a mistake, own up to it, like that. What I heard from the board president, from the superintendent, we overlooked it, we made a mistake, we should have signed it earlier. If we still support the bond issue like you said you did earlier, we need to make adjustments and move on, with that, and do better the next meeting. Do better the following meeting, as we're moving through this. Don't rehash old things just because you have a vendetta almost.
Mr. President?
Yes.
So, I've had, I guess, a situation where I just recently took another job. I'm in week 6, and I have been very, I guess, appreciative that there has been a team of people, and it's not just been Mr. Wilson, but I feel like there's been a team of people representing our district that I feel has done the hours and hours of work that Craig was mentioning, because I simply couldn't. And at that point, I am working on a premise of trust, because I believe there are mistakes, but I don't believe some of the mistake of maybe missing this is indicative of something of malicious intent. I also want to share that while I have heard from people that would maybe reflect more on what Alan is sharing in his thoughts, I have probably 3 times has heard from people celebrating and excited about what we're doing, about the progress we're making and the improvements we're doing, and the fact that we are doing something that hasn't been done or seen in this community for decades, and that's building and improving our schools. And we are the board, whether we like it or not, we're the board that has been tasked in making some of this progress happen after years of other boards not being able to, and for different reasons, budgets, politics, other economic factors. So I think again, we're doing something profound here. It is not, I don't deal with contracts, I don't deal with construction, that's not my day job. I do believe I'm doing due diligence as a board member in listening to the community, but also reviewing what we have. But there's simply no expectation that should be put upon any of us to have been at all those hours of meeting like our teams at the school district has. And I think then I'm prepared to move forward in supporting this contract, so. Thank you for letting me say something.
Statement to make, I guess. I too have been bombarded with people, about the bathroom issue. I just wanna bring that out, that, I am listening, because I really believe that, we do need to be transparent with them, with the community, and, make them aware that we are aware of their concerns. And we, are not putting them under the table by any means, that we have addressed many of the concerns already. And there is fear, not only in us, but in other people as well. But there's also, on the other hand, people that are not concerned. So it's kind of hard to kind of come and, like us and decide what's best to do. But, I am listening, and I can't speak for the board, but I am listening. I guess I wanna bring that forth, is we always keep in mind those people that are concerned and address whatever we need to address if we can, if that makes sense. And, not push them on the table, obviously, but keep them in our mind at all times, and the concerns in our minds at all times. And if we can do something about it. So, I guess I just, want to keep that in the community, to heart and not lose them.
Mr. Chairman, I would agree with Mr. Coster. We have put in hours and hours, and the bond is exciting. It's a great thing for our community. But we should put hours and hours, make sure it's done right. And I agree with Mrs. Hurl and the concerns. We ought to spend some time talking about it, and we don't. And that's a concern, and that's, I think, why we keep getting the audiences we do, is because we don't get it addressed. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
I have, are you finished, sir?
I am.
Yep.
have, listened to all of our concerns, all of the concerns that have been expressed. I've read all the emails and the press. My purview, I feel, is to assure that the thing we said we would do, we're doing, and that we are equipping our staff and our faculty and our administration with the tools that they've asked for in these new buildings. Mr. Henderson expressed a lot of different concerns about buildings that cause different behavior in children. And these designs address those needs. And that is what I am voting for. This design that Mr. Henderson and the team that he gathered developed these choices over the course of months. And that was their job. And they presented it to us, and this is what they asked for. At this price, and this price is what we are approving. And the question on the table is the contract regarding the price.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
I agree, and I voted for bringing the bond to you guys. This is an awesome one for our community and for this board. I agree with Mr. Palliser that there's been hours. I agree with Mr. Reiner that we need to do it right. And I need, and every other board member who has commented about how positive this is. The problem is that there are a lot of issues that I know about. I don't know what I don't know. These are things that I do know, and I don't think we spend enough time on it. The people voted for us and voted for this bond. That's not debated. What's debated is now, we had a special meeting asking for their support. We provided opportunity for community involvement at a special meeting in the auditorium. It was announced at a special meeting, we had it in there, we had all kinds of, on TV, we recorded it. We have these special meetings, and we do not allow that to happen. I don't think that's right. We get the money, we ask for this, comments, yet now we have it, and we say, we won't allow you to talk. I have requested at several board meetings to put it on the agenda, also requested that we have a survey of entire parents, not just high school, because how would we gone by the time this is there. But why haven't we done that? Then we would have data to help us make decisions. I have not seen data about these types of bathrooms supports non-bullying, no bullying, or less bullying.
Well, we have heard from.
I'm still talking about the same
You know,
courtesy you get another board meeting.
Yeah, but at the same time, Alan, you're rehashing things.
This is important.
I agree, the whole thing is important, but when we're just hearing the same things over and over, we have discussed this. And we brought it to the public. The whole bond process was done out in the public, and community involvement was key. And so I appreciate your concerns. I really do, and I get that you're representing answers here, and you want those answers done. But we have to make, and
We are,
no, I didn't say it's not, but I will say, half of the board does have a job, even if you're retired, and you have all the free time.
I
And
have
so-
several jobs along with that,
Okay.
there's more, but I don't think I have an issue. I'm willing to give plenty of time, which I was elected as
All
my
right,
oath
all
of
right.
office is. Now,
But I'm
you
gonna
also
ask
have
that you
minorities.
don't rehash things that you said
Have you
over
read
and over
your
and answer, but
president's handbook?
ask and answer.
Have you read your president's handbook?
My
From KSB.
That's not on that.
Well, what it is that I am a minority on board, obviously, but I have the right to discuss and debate any issue and have my opportunity to talk. By you not putting it on the agenda,
But you
by not
have,
allowing you
you
to talk
talk
and
more than
interrupting.
anyone here, you do
Not-
get that opportunity.
Did you time all these people to talk, did you interrupt them? I don't
You
think
know,
so.
on a regular basis, you take things off the consent agenda so you can talk about something unrelated to the agenda. And so, and we've discussed that practice that you do that. You talk and you have that opportunity. What I'm asking from you is to be respectful of everyone else, and that's not what we get from you. I mean, I know you want it to be, I do feel I'm being very respectful to you. And I know you feel like you're being interrupted, but you're rehashing things. I've asked you, try to, if you've got something that you think needs to be said that hasn't been said, share that.
I did, I made that point that we had a special meeting before, and which it was debated, said, no, we've never done it before, and he said it here today, we've never done it before, but that's not true. In your
I did
opinion-
not say we've never done it before. I said that that's not what we've done with special meetings since I've been here. And that is not how it's
You're
usually
not
done.
part of that one, you did the bond,
Was that before or after my time? I truly don't.
before we voted on.
But wasn't that a community meeting? It wasn't
Just a
just.
special board meeting.
Okay.
I did not go back and look at all of them, I do have them.
Okay.
So that's new information.
All right, but let's stick to the topic.
The topic is this contract.
Right.
And there's many things that I probably don't know about that I think we should look at.
Well, ask questions. Ask questions.
I've
This
asked
is your
that
time.
question.
But you're not asking questions right now.
I asked that question, never answered. How many bathrooms are traditional on the second floor, whole entire second floor, which is a big piece?
24.
I remember, yeah, and I
No.
remember hearing
No.
also something that
No,
that
no.
it's equidistant. This is what Mr. Henderson
Is this
said, that
interesting?
equidistant.
No, she's
I'm not
asking
having a
a question.
clarification to your statement, sir.
No.
But this is one thing
Locker
that doesn't
rooms.
seem to come up, is that there may not be bathrooms upstairs,
There
but
are.
there,
There are.
no, there, of the other type.
Locker-
Okay,
locker rooms.
Then I apologize, but they were equidistant. I remember Mr. Henderson saying, equidistant options.
There are
So there's
24 separate men and women's bathrooms on the second floor.
No,
You're saying yes?
Yes.
no.
I didn't see that on plans, so. I didn't see that.
I
You said 24 bathrooms, private bathrooms,
24 toilets.
24 toilets, but I'm talking about single bathrooms. We have, in each wing, we have a community bathroom, gender neutral bathroom, one wing, and we have one on the other wing. But I don't know about the total number of traditional bathrooms that from kindergarten through 8th grade, we're gonna be providing, that the high school would change.
Two.
That was shared.
81.
Well,
Your count, now, I'm not talking about taking locker rooms out. Just in this high school, what bathrooms are available to kids? 81, not including locker
Over
rooms,
100.
not including the
That's what
bathrooms
he's
by the
answering. You
auditorium.
said that, but he's answering.
Not on the second floor, he said there's 21 toilets on the second floor. That's
In the
separate bathrooms.
24, there's actually more than that on the second floor, there's individual private, but there's 24.
When did we change from gender neutral to private? We mentioned that in the meeting. We're not calling it.
That was introduced at the April 10th meeting.
Yeah. And you asked questions.
It was
that's what I-
introduced, I heard it at the April
Hi, I
10th
said it.
meeting,
They're private toilets.
and they were said at that point, at the April 10th meeting, which was videotaped, that they were safer and cheaper to make.
Yeah.
No.
Where's your data on that? You have
Yes.
data that shows.
Yes.
I don't have price sheets.
There is a level of trust that I do believe that we need to engage in, that at
I
some
agree.
point.
I think
So-
it's
No,
famous.
I don't think we agree there because
Trust
of the
and
questions you're
verify.
asking.
Okay,
Trust and verify.
so.
Then that's not trust.
We're answering these questions, but it seems that you want to argue after you get your answer. So we're gonna go on, and I'm gonna call for a vote at this time.
Mr.
All those in
President,
favor?
I asked for a roll call vote.
Okay, that's fine.
Which we'll have to do anyway because we don't have our election.
Yeah, so all those in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, say no.
No, that's not a roll call vote.
No, we
Well,
go, I
we'll
know,
go
but
now.
Alan Clark, how do you vote?
No.
Craig Pallister, how do you vote?
Yes.
Lori Girdle, how do you vote?
Yes.
Amy Lovebrook, how do you vote?
Yes.
Kurt Weiner, how do you vote?
No.
Kim Brooks, how do you vote?
yes.
Megan Zachary Wilcox, how do you vote?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-2.
Can you read the motion, please?
Motion to approve the NAPOS GMP contract as presented.
We have a clarification, that's the maximum, that's what you need. We
Guaranteed maximum.
Guaranteed maximum. 5 sites.
Okay. All right, well, motion,
Do we know when they're gonna start?
Groundbreaking's tonight.
When are they gonna,
It's hard to tell.
they're making Augusta Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, they'll be mobilized here very soon. There's a few big machines out there now, but they'll be mobilizing lots of big machines here in the next week or so.
That's a big part.
Case I was-
The lot that we're putting the dirt on, are we renting that lot, or what's that, on 13? All the extra dirt from Roosevelt is going,
So we own that one.
That's our lot.
north of, UPS? That big lot, north of UPS? That's the lot that all our earth is going through, the extra dirt, is just piled up there,
Not aware of that.
so do we know that?
Is there a specific part we need to be at tonight? Is there,
Just,
look for the stage?
it's, go to where the